Hello, the November edition of Steel Business Briefing's Global Market Outlook has just been published. This month the title is Global Production Still Climbing, but European and US demand looks likely to be low for the rest of Q4. In this month's edition, I look at what will happen through to the end of the year, particularly bearing in mind consumption and likely production, and start looking at what's going to happen in 2010. Firstly, looking at World Steel Association's production figures for September, we see that output climbed again, albeit very slightly, but of course this was only a 30-day month, so in fact it's equivalent to 4% more on a daily rate. Most regions, in fact, had very stable output, but the big growth was in EU27, which had more than 2 million tonnes extra. Obviously some of this was the slowdown in August, but this looks now to be pretty much the steady state figure that we can expect going forward, unless there are further cutbacks. Looking at the markets in the US, we have got this weak demand coming through. We're still not sure if there's too much production. Prices are going to be weak, certainly on hot coil, waiting to see slightly what happens on rebar. Looking forward into 2010, we can see that demand is going to pick up, so it's really a case of not losing too much ground on pricing over the time between now and the end of the year. The position is fairly similar in Europe. We're seeing slight weakness on the coil prices at the moment, and this will again be pretty much a function of very weak demand, possibly too much supply. Less certain as to whether there'll be the pickup at the start of the new year, but at least there's cause for optimism, and certainly prices should at least be a little bit firmer, depending what's happened between now and the end of the year. Asia is a little bit more in balance, still waiting to see whether the recent upturn in Chinese prices and demand was temporary, or whether it will last through for another couple of months. In general then, weakness through to the end of the year, looking to see what will happen in the new year. One other factor is going to be raw material prices. With the demand in China, the spot price for iron ore is still high. This has got to indicate that the benchmark price will be rising. Another reason for the mills to be looking for higher prices as we go into early 2010. Finally, for those of you in Europe, an opportunity to network and get together at the start of December. Two functions coming up. There's a meets in Antwerp on Thursday the 10th of December, and there's a new thing, Paris lunch in Paris on 15th of December. Those of you who can, look forward to seeing you there.